Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you Game 2 in a series between DIMAGA and Socke here in the Xel'Naga Caverns. Socke spawning as the blue Protoss player, meanwhile DIMAGA spawning as the red Zerg, DIMAGA on the top right hand side of the map, meanwhile Socke spawning on the bottom left hand side of the map, obviously, as there are only two spawning locations here in the Xel'Naga Caverns. So looking forward to this matchup. Game 1 in the series. If you haven't already seen it, go watch it first. It's the number of the videos right before this one. Should be pretty easy to keep track of. Anyways, Game 1 in this series, Socke opened up with a very effective 4 Phoenix harass off of 1 Stargate, and because of the reduced build time on those Phoenixes, only 35 seconds, 25 after 1 chrono boost, he was able to just get a lot of damage dealt. Evolution Chamber was a little bit late. Spore colonies were then by default delayed as well, and as soon as 3 queens were destroyed, there was not much that DIMAGA could really do. He tried to get back into the game. He tried to spawn larva as quickly as possible, but still unable to do so. You're going to see a look around now, and DIMAGA opening up with an early hatchery, or an early extractor, excuse me. Opting to go for metabolic boosted lings first. Right as this extractor is done, the timing should allow him to have 200 minerals to build a spawning pool. So the extractor just being built now, 3 drones going to be transferred over, and as that spawning pool completes, it is going to have approximately 100 gas in order to train up that metabolic boost. DIMAGA most likely will then pull drones off of gas in order to get a stronger mineral economy going, as all he wants is that speed boost and then being able to set up a hatchery at the natural expansion. Meanwhile, back in the base over here by Socke opening up with a double pylon build, pylon, gateway pylon, or assimilator pylon, Cybernetics core, that really standard build that most Protoss players go 99% of the time. We're going to get that Cybernetics core here, have a Zealot be able to position itself right here and ward off any large number of Zerglings with relative ease. Drone now trying to make its way down, and it looks like it's going to be a scouting drone and not a hatchery drone, as that drone needs to do some scouting. The Zealot is now currently being trained, and the Zealot will be done in time, I believe, but the drone can mineral path straight through that Zealot, at least to gain sight. Socke is going for an early gas once again, so with an early gas strategy, I'm wondering if he's going to be either going for the fast Phoenixes once again, or if he's going to perhaps try to change up that strategy even further. The Zealot will pop out just in time, but unable to do anything to stop that drone. And now here is that Zealot holding off against a very, very large number of units. Stalker also being chrono boosted as well. That drone's days are pretty much numbered, as that drone would take 1 round of attack from that 1 Zealot. If he does try to escape right now, he would be able to, but I don't think he's really going to be able to escape at all, as he just wants to see as much information as possible. Socke being very, very smart to not build his next building until this drone is outside of the base. That drone already down to 6 hit points. There it goes. And now we may start to see some actual strategies and planning on what Socke really wants to do. Meanwhile, DIMAGA getting a 2nd queen up already. May try to train up a 3rd queen. Now training up a 3rd queen in order to fend off against any early attacks. 3 queens definitely better than 2 or 1, establishing creep tumors, linking the bases, and also giving the metabolic boost for those Zerglings on creep. You can see the Zerglings are now trying to get a surround onto that Stalker there, and the Stalker having a very difficult time battling it out against the sea of Zerglings. A lot of damage has been dealt. A Zealot now coming in, joining in on the hits, and there's a force field, a defensive force field at that, in order to protect that Stalker from any serious damage whatsoever. Queen already at the low ground expansion, ready to get off a spawn larva there, as more creep tumors are being established. I do not see any additional queens being trained. And oh, look at this. Tricky Socke now going for a hallucination. So if he actually moves out with his 1 Phoenix, an hallucinated Phoenix, he may force DIMAGA to try to go for an evolution chamber and spore colonies. That would slow down the economy, as DIMAGA would need to sacrifice drones for the evolution chamber and that spore colony, but at the same time he doesn't want to fall prey to the same tactic that he just lost to. if a tactic works on you once, you want to make sure that it doesn't work on you twice. And DIMAGA most likely going to place down an evolution chamber if a Phoenix has been scouted out, but I'm not 100% sure what that strategy is just quite yet. We now see a large number of sentries on the move. Hallucination has been completed. Not enough energy for an hallucination just quite yet, as the units are still wandering around. Back here, we are teching the tier 2 about more than halfway over. We are getting that Roach Warren, so DIMAGA pretty much opening up with the same build, and apparently both players, I guess, we're using the same hotkeys or doing their hotkeys at the same time and accidentally chatting to each other as the Nexus is now coming up. More gateways being laid down, and Socke developing a very nice wall here. By creating this wall, it's going to be very difficult for Zerglings to run by here. All he needs to do is get off perhaps another tech building here, and that will completely fend it off. We do also have one Phoenix just flying around. All it needs to do is just kind of reveal itself to a Xel'Naga watchtower or to a creep tumor, but he doesn't want to reveal it actually to an overlord. If it reveals it to an overlord, the Phoenix naturally tries to shoot at an overlord, and then he will know it's an hallucination and know that his opponent has not gone for that particular tech path. The Phoenix now just flying around, taking a severe amount of damage. Down it goes. DIMAGA realizing that that was an hallucination. Shouldn't really need to worry about the evolution chamber, but he does have one just in case, or he has two, in fact, in order to get that weapons upgrade. Oh, a queen able to escape away at 1 hit point, so 1 armor for the win there, as that queen is trying to establish a very strong creep highway. That queen now gonna hide behind those spine crawlers there, or hide off onto the side. Is he gonna lay down more creep tumors? Yeah, he's just going to still lay down creep tumors. A very, very dangerous living queen, down to 8 hit points, but still doing her job. Perhaps this one queen should try to transfuse this, and then this queen, in fact, just start transfusing as well. So spawn larva, so this queen has enough energy to do so. Creep tumors now making their way across the map. Burrow already being researched. Glial reconstitution as well. Level 1 missile attack, as both players are now running off of 2 bases. Spine crawlers also being aggressively pushed out. We are getting the robotics bay now, and the spine crawlers may root themselves here and then deal damage back here, which would towards the destructible rocks, which would be very, very helpful in trying to establish a 3rd base. Is it going to actually destroy those rocks? No, it does not look like it, as another creep tumor is being laid down. So DIMAGA has a really, really good sense of map control, as he knows what's happening on 2/3 of the map so far. Roaches nearly 1-1 upgraded, as the Roaches are now taking down these rocks as well. It looks like these rocks will fall with relative ease. And now DIMAGA has options for his 3rd base. Both players now just sitting back, relaxing, and just trying to macro it up. Army-wise, 2125 versus 1825, but there is also a difference in the gas army. So total army-wise, 3,000 compared to about 3,000 as well. So it is a very, very even army in terms of resources, unless you account for these queens. These queens are ground spellcasters, essentially able to heal units and also attack air as well. Pretty significant amount of damage, as the Roaches are still wandering across the map. But Zerg now getting an even stronger build continually, as those spine crawlers now making their way across the map. Phoenix just still moving about, trying to scout even further. There is one burrowed Zergling right here, denying an expansion attempt, and until a cannon or an observer is built, that Zergling's going to be able to delay that with absolutely no problem. There's the observer here, but it doesn't look like Socke's going to really do anything about this one particular building over here, as we are now getting another pylon. A large group of units are trying to move out. Extended thermal lance range about 1/3 of the way completed so far, as the Roaches now with movement speed upgrades looking to find their target and get some damage. Now going after some of those units there. 1 sentry down. Stalker is going to get taken down, and more units going to get taken down as well. The Roaches are trying to burrow away, quickly getting destroyed, now passing straight underneath those force fields once again, and getting even more and more damage. So Stalkers both sides battling it out, dealing a lot of damage. You can see how much damage is being dealt, as those Roaches and Immortals are just battling it out further. The Roaches, however, getting a lot of damage, and the Stalkers do not have blink, unable to get away all too easily. And now another misplacement on another walk there, as the Roaches once again burrowing, able to regenerate a lot of hit points and getting a lot of damage across these units. The Roaches move significantly faster bend those Colossi and are able to snipe down another Colossus in retreat. Another cannon gonna get destroyed over here as the Stalkers are getting destroyed as well. You can see the Stalkers taking a large amount of damage. The Colossus now trying to run away. And burrowed roaches able to slowly regenerate their hit points and get back into this game. A roach over here should be able to easily burrow once again and try to delay that expansion, but DIMAGA getting a significant lead at 3,000, or I'll say 45 resource army versus a 24, so a 2,000 resource difference now. The roaches all back up into the green, full hit points, level 2 missile upgrades, level 2 armor upgrades now underway, and these photon cannons are just going to get easily destroyed as the roaches are now going to continue to battle it out. Level 1 missile upgrades and level 2 missile upgrades now about to be completed as the Colossus taking even more damage. Both sides battling it out. Another Immortal destroyed here, and wow, just a mass roach army dishing out the damage, and I believe Socke has to say GG. Roaches now just still scampering across the map, sniping and getting continuous damage across that Colossus there. It looks like more damage will be had as the roaches are now going after Zealots. Colossus now trying to use that high ground advantage, but there's the GG by Socke. Socke losing game 2 in this series. Stay tuned for game 3, but really well played by DIMAGA. DIMAGA not going for any Hydralisks, just going for pure roaches, and those roaches were really doing a lot of damage, also able to regenerate a lot of damage relatively quickly as well. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between DIMAGA and Socke here in the Xel'Naga Caverns.